Good morning. Yesterday we mentioned the halacha of the prohibition of praying while one is intoxicated and while one is drunk. And this morning we'll continue on the halacha and finish that concept. The halacha is as follows. If someone does become intoxicated and is now rendered unable to pray because he's not able to stand in front of a king, all the more so in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, then they're going to have to redo that prayer, meaning the prayer that they miss, they're going to have to make it up later. For example, let's say someone drank during lunchtime and they were not able to pray mincha. They're going to pray tashlumin, they're going to pray 2 times arvit. The first time for arvit and the second time to make up for mincha. But now here's the question. Let's say everyone was together and there were 1 or even 2 or even a couple drunk people. Can they be counted as part of a minyan, even though they're not able to pray? But can we count them as a minyan or not? The halacha is we're able to count them as a minyan as long as they are not completely drunk. So what's the difference between completely drunk and not completely drunk? The way it's brought down in the halacha is if he's drunk like Lot, and I'll explain what that means. If he's drunk like Lot, the nephew of Abraham, then that would not be, then he cannot be counted as a minyan. Lot, his daughters gave him to drink and he was completely drunk and he absolutely had no recollection of what he did with them. If someone is so drunk that they are not going to remember anything, they're completely out of it, then they cannot be counted as a minyan. But if someone is so drunk that they wouldn't be able to pray, nevertheless they do still have some consciousness, they would be allowed to be considered as part of a minyan. I'm just going to bring down 4 reasons brought down by the poskim why it's ideal for one to drink but not get drunk. Meaning drinking is allowed, especially on Shabbat and on Yom Tov, by smachot. But to drink to the state of getting drunk, we're going to give 4 reasons why it's not proper and could even become prohibited. The first reason is because by drinking alcohol, one is now going to exempt themselves from mitzvot, as we just saw. If someone is so drunk they cannot pray, they cannot put tefillin, they cannot do Kedat Shema, they can't make brachot, then they will, they're putting themselves in a situation where they won't be able to fulfill mitzvot. That's number 1. The second reason is, as we all know, the aleinu v'alechem, that drinking very often promotes sin. When people get drunk, they start saying things they regret and would not like to say. They start acting in a certain way like they shouldn't. So that's another reason. A third reason is a person degrades himself. It's a concept of kavod habriot. He's not going to give himself self-respect or honor when they drink and then they start acting obviously not respectful. And the 4th reason is that very often when people do drink and do get drunk, they start hurting other people. And again, that could be verbally, but chas v'shalom, even physically. So for those reasons, and I'm sure we could think of many more, ideally, one is allowed to drink, obviously at the right time in the right place, but to get to the point of being drunk is absolutely a problem. Purim time, we'll speak about that during Purim time again, but just in line with these halachot, again, ideally one should not drink in order to get drunk, drink in order to get a buzz, in order to relax at the proper time would definitely be allowed. When it comes to prayer, make sure you have clarity in your prayer, and when it comes to be counted as a minyan, only when it's completely blacked out, then that individual will not be able to be counted as a minyan. This afternoon, mincha followed by arvit is going to be